Welcome to Marital Monday.
Woo! New term we coined for the married couple.
Exactly. Also known as Makeabless Monday. We are his own. We're abandoned ministry out of Nashville, Tennessee. And today we have a really special couple on with us, David and Olivia Spears.
You recognize the last name? Because they're
They might be related.
You might also recognize matching faces.
But we're really excited because today we're going to be talking about conflict resolution in relationships, because obviously disagreements happen. It's part of life, whether you are dating, married, friends, literally everything all the time. But we know that you guys have definitely learned a thing or two, and something that I've always been impressed with is actually several years back when I was dating someone, and I remember them just sharing some things that they used during their disagreements, and it actually was really, really helpful. And so we were talking about how we should get a couple on here to share about this. Immediately thought of them, and I just want to tell this story because I thought it was so funny and so classic for you guys. We were texting them saying, "Hey guys, what if we get you guys on to talk about conflict resolution in marriage?" And it was like, awesome. We were just dealing with that. Yes, they were but they're very real, and we need that now. So, what do you guys do?
Great question. So,
you guys never argue, right?
No,
never.
No. The only reason we know any of this is because we're not good at it. We're just practicing it better. But something early on we discovered was basically to look at the human aspect of saying, are we hungry? Are we tired? Because if you're either of those, it's going to taint everything.
Yeah.
So we basically just took those first and took a look, and then we kind of advanced it from there.
Practical.
Yeah, like that, and then also trying to immediately get to the heart of why you're upset. Whether you're like really upset or just kind of annoyed, trying to get to the heart of that, whether that be, I'm tired or I'm hungry, or whether that be I'm actually upset about something different and this is just kind of like the last straw. So trying to figure out why exactly you're upset, and so being able to move forward with that clarity, and also giving each other the space to take a beat, to take a pause, for everybody to kind of like chill out and collect their thoughts, and then come back and be able to have a calm conversation. That's productive in your argument, because like you said, everybody argues. It's a part of every relationship. It's not the arguing that's bad, it's the how we handle the arguing that, can be good or bad. Yes, that can be beneficial or harmful to the relationship. And so, we're not perfect at it, but we found that approaching it with that is a helpful start. And then once we start talking about whatever it is we're talking about, whatever it is we're discussing, one thing that we try to do that is helpful that we don't always do all of this, but when we do, it works, is we try to hold hands. Sometimes when we disagree, because it just helps you stay connected, and it helps just like touching someone releases all like the good the good feeling hormones to the happy hormones, and just kind of reminds you that you are a team and that you're in it together. The other thing we do,
you try to laugh.
Yeah.
You try to laugh.
We try to laugh.
Yeah, that always helps.
If you can get yourself or the other person to laugh, it really breaks the ice. We like to, we usually just try to quote relevant sitcom quotes that we like watch together, and it always gets the other person.
Yeah.
If you you
It
can
usually
crack a
breaks the
smile,
tension.
it breaks the tension. And so if you can crack a smile, you're.
Because then you're kind of mad, but you're like, wow, that was really funny.
Yeah, that was
Well played.
Yeah, that's good. At the end of the day, I think that any sort of conflict or disagreement in a relationship, when you know you're in it for the long run, it just requires a willingness to compromise. Everybody's got to make some sort of sacrifice.
And I know when we were talking a little bit about it earlier, you had said certain statements that you really tried to avoid. What are some of those?
So we discovered that always is really never a good statement,
Yeah, exactly.
or you never
Uh-huh.
is a bad statement as well. So more along the lines of like, I feel like X, Y, Z.
Yeah, or when you did this, I felt this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
You know,
exactly.
concrete.
Exactly.
Speaking your own feelings.
Yeah, trying to avoid the blame of
Really
like
good.
you never do this or you always do that, you know, because that doesn't help the conversation along.
And
That's not productive.
That also goes into assuming the best with your significant other. Like, they didn't intentionally do this
Yeah, I
to
love
make you
that.
mad.
Oh, yeah,
hurt you.
seem the best.
Yeah. Dr. John Gottman, who's a big expert on marriages, I know he talks about that, how if we can start to assume the best about the person that we're in a conflict with, it really changes the whole dynamic.
Yeah, it totally changes your mindset. Because if you have something that like triggered you, you'll start assuming the worst and then just spiral. So if you like cut it off in the beginning,
So you kind of expect, like, you know what, they didn't mean to do that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I know that
exactly.
they were trying to do the right thing and they.
Yeah.
Which also comes with trust. You have to trust somebody.
Absolutely.
Assuming the best,
Yeah.
and assuming the best
sure.
builds the trust of the other
Mhm.
person too.
Exactly.
That's
And I
great.
think it all comes back down to, you know, the root of your love. And so it's your love that, you know, reminds you like, oh, this person would never intentionally hurt me. You know, it's your love that reminds you to, I'm going to take a beat and not play the blame game. And it's your love that you want to get back to, you know,
Yeah.
because when you're, at least when you're in a marriage, you're in it for the long haul. Like, we know that we're not going anywhere, you know? And so in our minds, when a conflict arises, it's like, listen, the quicker we can sort this out and get this resolved, the quicker we can just go back to like,
And sometimes we'll actually say that, like, why are we even arguing about
yeah,
this? Like,
yeah,
this is such a waste of time.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
I'd rather just like hang out with you and, you know, keep laughing. So, so that's, we try to keep that long-term perspective in
I
mind
love
as
that.
well. And it helps weigh things. You know, is this really a big deal? Is it not? You know,
And the one last thing I would say would learn to argue well. Because arguing is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. People that say they don't argue, I would question that. Because if you're arguing, you're two individual people, and that's a
Right.
good thing to a relationship. So learn to argue well that is not degrading or demeaning.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
That's so awesome. Thank
Awesome.
you so much.
Yeah, thank you for sharing with us. And you guys, we'd love to hear some of you couples out there.
Yes.
What have you learned? How do you guys argue well? How do you disagree well? And how does that help to cement your relationship, actually help you guys to grow together? So come find us on social media come find us first, website, beazone.com, social media, Facebook and Instagram, at beazone, and Twitter, beazone music. But also, you have a blog,
yes,
right?
totheheights.com. You can come hang out with me there.
Yes, so come find Olivia. And again, thank you guys so much.
Thank you all. This was
Yeah.
fun.
You guys are
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.